You are Locked On Knicks POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, not much else to say other than this. The Celtics stink right now, and the Knicks don't. How about a 2-0 series lead after yet another 20-point comeback? And guess what? This was sealed by yet another defensive gem from Mikal Bridges. Knicks win it 91-90, and they've got a commanding 2-0 series lead heading back to the real Garden, Madison Square Garden. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. Glad to have you aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Again, glad to have you. Please follow me on X at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Here we go, folks.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, so again, for a second straight game, the Knicks come from 20 down in the second half, and they get a defensive steal, essentially a block shot, in the closing seconds with Boston a chance to win, and they don't even get the shot off. Unbelievable defense from Bridges, who, into the fourth quarter, was scoreless. He ended with 14, all 14 points coming in the fourth quarter. One of his 3 steals, that was the difference. Again, a wild finish. The Knicks scored just 13 points in the very first quarter. They started 0 for 8 from the floor. So you figured this was going to be quick and sort of painless, and it would be 20 points, and it would be over, and the Knicks get back to the real Garden with a 1-1 split. No. Knicks said no way, no how, no chance. So the combination in the fourth quarter of really Bridges, who hit all 6 of his field goals in the fourth quarter. Obviously, big shots from Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, specifically in the second half. By the way, Towns, 17 rebounds. But Josh Hart, who played 43 minutes, as did Bridges, Josh Hart really making his presence felt. Now, the shooting percentages weren't great, but Hart ended with 23, also 3 offensive rebounds, which, of course, second chance points means a lot. The Celtics were certainly excellent when it came to offensive rebounding and second chance points tonight. The problem is they don't hit shots. And whoever comes out of this series is going to have to start hitting shots, even the Knicks. Again, percentages, here we go. The Knicks were 43% from the floor. They hit just 9 3-pointers. They took 31 threes. There were 9 of 31. That's under 30%. As for the Celtics, they were 36% from the floor. Just miserable. And they chucked up 40 more threes and missed 30 of them. So I've done the math. They missed 45 in game 1. They missed 30 in game 2. So that's 75 missed threes in 2 games. Without a doubt, an NBA record for most missed threes in a 2-game stretch in the postseason. Again, they were 10 for 40 tonight. They've missed 75 threes. Now, speaking of missing shots, down the stretch, how about 14 consecutive missed shots for Boston, field goals that is, 8 minutes without a field goal down the stretch. It was a 21-2 Knicks run. Now, what's very impressive about this is, sure, it was good defense. But to me, the most amazing thing was how many open shots the Celtics missed, especially Jason Tatum, who, by the way, missed 14 shots tonight. Jaylen Brown missed 15 shots, so they missed nearly 30 shots combined. As we said, they just shot 36% from the floor. As for the rebounds, Knicks had 46 to 51, so the Celtics had the edge there. But again, Knicks scored 13 in the first and obviously outscored them 30-17 in the fourth quarter. As for Tatum, had just 13 points, and he is off. He is just not good right now, and the Celtics have no chance if Jason Tatum isn't going to be good. Jaylen Brown was good in the first half, but things changed quickly in the second half, and they discussed it both on the broadcast and during halftime. Jaylen Brown getting to the paint instead of all these ridiculous threes. Well, that only lasted so long. Once we got to the second half, I don't even know what the strategy was for Boston to chuck up more threes. And again, when you have a chance to drop a play off an inbounds, Celtics didn't do a very good job of that. Also, it seemed like maybe the Knicks let Tatum score the last Celtics bucket that put Boston up 1 before Jalen Brunson hit his 2 free throws to put the Knicks back up 1. It almost seemed like the Red Seas parted for Tatum straight down the lane for the dunk. It almost seemed like, and I still wonder, if the Knicks let them score. Well, turned out the strategy was pretty good, especially if the Knicks were going to play defense like they did late. All right, Brunson had 17. Karl-Anthony Towns, despite the slow start, was pretty good in the second quarter. Towns had a pretty good game, 9 of 16, 21 points, 17 rebounds. He was a monster on the boards, the only double-double for the Knicks tonight. Bridges, as we said, had 14 points all in the fourth quarter, but 7 boards, 5 assists, and 3 steals, and the steal of the playoffs so far. OG Anunoby was invisible tonight, sorry to say, had 2 field goals and 5 points and was a minus 11. Now, obviously, OG's there for more than just his offense. It's his defense. He's a huge 3-and-D guy, but this was an off night for OG. Again, just 5 points. Josh Hart, as we said, had 23, 6, and 3, and he too was with some excellent defensive plays late. As for the plus minus, now in game 1, Mitchell Robinson, of all players, was the Knicks leader in plus minus at plus 13. Well, guess what? Not a single starter was a plus in the plus minus category for the Knicks tonight. Only Robinson was a plus, and he was a plus 19, by far the most, or by far the best of any player on either side. Just give you an idea of how important Robinson is, despite the fact that he probably took the worst free throw in the history of the sport. Robinson took played 22 minutes, 3 of 5. Obviously, the free throw was no good, but again, a plus 19, 6 points, 8 boards, 3 offensive rebounds. The Knicks had 10 offensive rebounds, and obviously that helped throughout the first and second half. 20 each for Derek White and Jaylen Brown, but again, the 3-pointers were the key for Boston. Absolutely give the Knicks credit on defense, specifically late. However, Boston misses so many open shots, and you could tell that they were reticent to shoot the 3 right as the first quarter started. Tatum a couple of times thought about taking a 3 and then stopped. Now, Derek White didn't stop shooting 3s. Peyton Pritchard didn't stop shooting 3s. Obviously, Jaylen Brown either. But again, 10 of 40 from 3, and they've missed 75 threes in 2 games. All right, we'll take a quick break. We have some stats that you'll want to hear in regards to playoff series at 2-0. We'll talk about that, and we'll obviously get together with the rest of the schedule. All right, if you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had an urgent need, maybe for a plumber or a service provider. If the first person didn't answer, did you wait? Probably not. You moved on. That's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system built to streamline and scale your customer communications, all from an app on your phone or computer. Open Phone lets me manage business calls and text from a single app. The shared inbox feature is a game changer. Your team can jump into any conversation instantly without missing a beat. And their AI agent handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer. OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. Again, openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. All right, next up is Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivered incredible results. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day with multiple qualified candidates to choose from. Instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable, top-tier freelancers to scale my business efficiently. Visit Upwork.com right now. Post your job for free. It's Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today. All right, final segment of the show, folks, and it's my favorite point of the show. That's because we do this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right, it's Mikal Bridges. Considering his fourth quarter and the stand at the end, the game ball goes to Mikal Bridges. As we said, did not have a single point, not a single point through three quarters. He finished with 14. Again, all in the fourth quarter, and obviously the huge block/steal. Officially, it's a steal. They didn't give him a block. Either way, it was a defensive gem on Jason Tatum, who tried to hoist up his shot to give the Celtics the win. Didn't work. So again, game ball. Bridges, 14 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. Really an amazing night for Mikal Bridges from the fourth quarter on. And again, the Knicks now have a 2-0 series lead. Speaking of that, the team that wins the first 2 games of a best-of-7 series on the road wins that series 86% of the time. In fact, we've got the record. 30-5 is that record for teams that win the first 2 games on the road. So, needless to say, whether the Knicks are underdogs or not in games 3 and on, they have a great chance of winning. All right, as for that schedule, game 3 will be Saturday. Remember, folks, this is a day game, a late afternoon game, 3:30 from Madison Square Garden, the real Garden. And you can bet the crowd will be rocking. Game 4 will then be Monday. That's a 7:30 tip time. Right now, we're only guaranteed 2 more games in this series. Game 5 would be back in Boston next Wednesday. Game 6 Friday at Madison Square Garden. And then Game 7 would be Monday back in Boston. And now, just like after Game 1, the Celtics find themselves trailing in an NBA playoff series for the first time in over 2 years. Amazing stuff. The Celtics and the Knicks, what a series it's been. Once again, Knicks come from 20 down in the second half. They get a late pair of free throws from Jalen Brunson to put the Knicks up 91-90. And then a block shot / steal, whatever you want to call it, from Mikal Bridges on Jason Tatum proved to be the difference. Knicks win. They're up 2-0. They'll play game 3 Saturday at 3:30. And, of course, we'll be with you immediately following game 3. Again, from one Garden to the real Garden. Knicks win at 91-90. We will see you Saturday.